I turned 50 last winter. You still look 40, Elaine said, smiling across the kitchen table. I laughed. That's love talking. Mornings were coffee, news, silence. Nights were dinner, TV, sleep. Safe, steady, earned. We did good, I told her once. We survived everything. She nodded. We did. I believed it. After 25 years of marriage, routine felt like proof. I worked, paid bills, fixed leaks. Elaine managed the house, the calendars, my life. You never forget, she said. Because you never let me. That made me proud. Rachel called every Sunday. You okay, Dad? She asked. Always, I said. Your mom keeps me in line. Elaine laughed in the background. Someone has to. Mark stopped by on Fridays. You're lucky, he said, opening a beer. Quiet life. I raised my glass. Quiet is good. Yet some nights I stared at the ceiling. Do you ever feel alone? I asked Elaine once. She paused. Not alone. Just tired. I accepted that answer because it scared me to ask more. I noticed small things. Short replies. Long phone calls she took outside. Work stuff, she said. I nodded. Of course. You happy? She asked me one evening. I answered too fast. Yes. She smiled, but her eyes drifted away. I told myself love matures. Passion fades. Comfort stays. This is what 50 looks like, I whispered. Still, a quiet thought followed me. If I lost this life, who would I be? Starting over felt impossible. So I stayed still. I held routine tighter, mistaking peace for loyalty, safety for forever, unaware how thin that ground really was. I trusted the calm, never hearing the crack beneath. My phone buzzed at 9:47 p.m. I saw Elaine's name and answered. Silence. Elaine. The call dropped. A minute later, a text appeared. Meeting ran late. Don't wait up. I stared at the screen. You said you'd be home by 9, I said when she walked in. She didn't look at me. Plans changed. With who? I asked. Work, she replied. Too quick. Which project? She sighed. Why are you interrogating me? I'm not, I said. I just missed a call. She froze. I called. Her laugh sounded practiced. Must have been my pocket. Another message flashed before she grabbed her phone. A name I didn't know. Thomas. My chest tightened. Who's Thomas? I asked. She turned away. A coworker. Why is he texting you at night? Silence stretched. You're being paranoid, she said softly. I replayed years in seconds. Late dinners. Cancelled weekends. Look at me, I said. She didn't. Say it again, I pressed. Say there's nothing. There's nothing, she said, eyes fixed on the sink. The words felt hollow. Swear it, I whispered. She swallowed. I don't have to swear. That crack inside me widened. I trusted you, I said. I still do, she answered, but her voice shook. I went to the bedroom, heart racing. 50 years old, I thought. Is this when love expires? I had no proof, only a weight in my chest telling me something precious had already slipped away. I asked myself, what did I miss? The mirror answered nothing. Am I replaceable now? I whispered. The silence replied louder than truth, making me wonder if age finally turned love into a temporary habit for both of us. I opened her tablet because mine was dead. A message popped up. Miss you already, it read. From Thomas. My hand shook. I kept scrolling. Elaine, I called. She entered slowly. Why are you on my tablet? She asked. Why is there a hotel receipt? I asked. Downtown. Last Friday. She stared. You weren't there, I said. It was a mistake, she whispered. A mistake has a room number. I asked. Messages. I read them aloud. She said nothing. Silence answered every question. Say it's a lie, I said. Say I'm wrong. She sat down. I can't, she said. My chest burned. How long? I asked. She shook her head. Does it matter? The door opened. What's going on? Linda asked. You called her? I said. Linda crossed her arms. You pushed her away, she said. You got old. Predictable. That word crushed me. Old, I repeated. Elaine didn't defend me. I gave you my life, I said. You gave me comfort, Linda replied. Not love. I laughed once. So this is it, I said. 25 years erased. Elaine whispered, I'm sorry. I nodded. I know. I didn't shout. I didn't cry. Something inside me shut off. At 50, betrayal feels final. There's no restart button. I looked around our home and knew my marriage was already a memory. My old life wasn't ending. It was gone. I stood there breathing, counting seconds. Is he worth it? I asked. Elaine stayed quiet. Linda sighed. Let it go, she said. I realized rebuilding after 50 means burying one life before starting another, alone. I accepted that the man I was died tonight, without goodbye or mercy. I packed one bag. Elaine watched. You don't have to go, she said. I do, I replied. I zipped it slowly. I can't breathe here. Mark opened his door in silence. Couch is yours, he said. I dropped the bag. I should have seen it, I said. I'm an idiot. He shook his head. You trusted your wife. At 50, I muttered. That's worse. We drank without talking. Finally, he said, You want revenge? I laughed. I want sleep. He nodded. Both are hard. The couch smelled unfamiliar. I stared at the ceiling. When did she stop loving me? I whispered. No answer. Every memory replayed. Every laugh felt fake now. In the morning, I met Susan in the hallway. Rough night? She asked softly. Rough life, I said. She handed me coffee. Sit, she said. We did. Silence filled the space. She didn't push. I appreciated that. You okay? She asked later. I shrugged. I'm here. That counts, she said. That night, loneliness screamed. Disappear, a voice in my head said. Or make them pay. I argued with myself. Revenge won't fix you. Neither will running. I pressed my hands to my face. I texted Elaine and deleted it. I called Rachel and hung up. You're alone now, I told myself. The words felt heavy. Mark knocked. You're not nothing, he said. I almost cried. Almost. I lay back down, staring into dark. At my lowest, I wondered if starting over was brave or foolish. Can I rebuild at 50? I asked the room. The room stayed quiet. I didn't sleep. I just survived the night, waiting for morning to tell me who I was now. I woke up angry. You going back? Mark asked. No, I said. I'm done chasing her. Saying it felt strange. Susan met me downstairs. You look different, she said. I chose myself, I replied. She smiled, no questions. Rachel called. Dad, are you okay? Not okay, I said. But I'm trying. She paused. That's enough for now. I opened my old laptop. Remember that business course? I asked myself. Elaine hated it. I enrolled anyway. My finger shook, then click submit. This is for me, I whispered. At class, Kevin sat beside me. You knew? He asked. Just late, I said. He laughed. Age doesn't scare me, he added. Experience matters. Something loosened in my chest. You're sharp, he told me after. You just stopped believing it. I nodded. I let comfort decide for me. Anger still visited. She deserves pain, a voice said. I answered back. I deserve peace. That felt better. Susan asked, What now? I said, I rebuild. Rachel texted, Proud of you. I stared at the screen longer than needed. I walked home later. Not healed. Not forgiven. Just moving. Revenge promised fire, but growth offered air. I chose air. That night, I stood alone and said, "I'm not finished." The words didn't shake. They settled. For the first time since everything broke, despair stepped aside. Determination took its place. I breathed slowly, counting steps, counting chances, reminding myself growth takes patience, not rage. Tomorrow felt uncertain, but it existed. That was enough. I promised I would show up, learn again, fail quietly, and keep choosing myself, even when anger knocked, even when memories tried pulling me backward, without losing hope. Mark called me. "You hear about Elaine?" he asked. "No," I said. "I'm busy." He hesitated. Thomas cheated. Already. I closed my eyes. Of course he did. Mark sighed. "She's a mess." I said nothing. "She called me," he added. Crying. "Did you answer?" I asked. "Once." "And?" "I told her you're doing fine." That felt strange. "I am," I said. "Better than fine." Mark laughed softly. "I see it." Later, Susan asked, "You okay?" "I heard," I said. "About her." She waited. "And?" "I don't feel anything." That wasn't true. Relief sat next to guilt. "Am I cruel?" I asked. Susan shook her head. "You're healing." I passed Elaine on the street days later. "We should talk," she said. "I'm late," I replied. That was also true. At class, Kevin said, "You're focused today." "I have space," I told him. He nodded. That's power. At night, I thought about karma. Not revenge. Not justice shouted loud. Just consequences arriving quietly. Elaine chose betrayal. Now she lived with doubt. I chose growth. Now I slept. I whispered, "I don't need to punish you." The words surprised me. Life already is. I turned off the light, feeling steady. For the first time, her pain didn't define me. My balance did. I understood then that karma doesn't rush. It walks beside you, patient, unavoidable, fair, while you decide who you become and who you no longer need to be. I breathed calmly, told myself staying kind mattered, staying focused mattered more, and realized watching my life improve was the only closure I ever needed. That truth finally felt solid, earned, and completely mine alone. At last now. I didn't expect her call. "Can we talk?" Elaine asked. "We are," I said. "I made a mistake," she said. "I was lonely." I breathed slowly. So was I. "You shut down," she said. "You stopped seeing me." I replied. I stayed. You left. Silence stretched. "Thomas meant nothing," she whispered. "Yet he mattered more than us," I said. "I'm scared," she admitted. "I'm alone." I nodded. I know that feeling. She waited for comfort. I didn't give it. "Do you hate me?" she asked. "No," I said. "I understand you." "That's worse," she said. "Understanding isn't forgiveness," I replied. "I miss our life," she said. "I miss who I was," I answered. She cried. "We can try again." I shook my head. Trying again means forgetting myself. "You've changed," she said. "Yes," I said. "I had to." "I didn't think age would break us," she whispered. "Age didn't," I said. "Choices did." Another pause. "So this is goodbye?" she asked. "This is acceptance," I replied. I ended the call gently. My hands were steady. My heart was clear. I sat alone, not empty, not angry. Calm replaced hope. Love hadn't expired. Trust had been spent. I knew then I wouldn't go back. Not because I was strong, but because I finally respected myself enough to stay where honesty lived, even if that place was quiet, unfamiliar, and mine alone. I chose distance over memory. I chose peace over repair. Walking forward felt honest. Staying would have been fear. I whispered goodbye to the man I was, and promised the future I wouldn't betray myself again. That promise finally felt permanent, grounded, earned, and unbreakable. I sat with Susan on the steps. "You're quiet," she said. "I'm listening," I replied. She smiled. I like that. I nodded. I'm learning. We shared coffee. I'm not ready, I said. I'm not asking, she answered. She spoke about Daniel. He loved mornings, she said. Even sick, he joked. I listened. Love doesn't end, she added. It changes shape. Does it hurt? I asked. Sometimes, she said. But it also stays. I told her, I'm afraid of wanting again. She replied, wanting isn't weakness. We walked slowly. No rush, I said. Good, she smiled. At night, I touched my scars. You don't scare me, Susan said earlier. I believed her. I won't replace him, I said. I don't want replacement, she answered. I want honesty. That word settled deep. I felt open, not exposed. I laughed quietly. I thought love retired. She shook her head. It waits. I realized love wasn't fireworks anymore. It was patience, presence, choice. I said, I'm still healing. She said, healing counts. I went home calm. For the first time, feeling didn't feel dangerous. Love hadn't returned loudly. It arrived gently, respecting my pace, my past, my strength. I closed my eyes and accepted it. Love didn't retire. It waited until I did the work to meet it without fear, without rushing, without losing myself again. I remembered pain, but it no longer ruled me. I wasn't chasing rescue. I was choosing connection, carefully, honestly, as an equal. That choice felt new, steady, and finally safe. I smiled, knowing tomorrow could grow slowly, without fear, without lies, without needing to pretend I was unbreakable. And I welcomed that truth. I stood alone on the balcony. The city hummed below, steady. You're okay, I told myself. I believed it. I lost a marriage, a future I memorized, a version of me that stayed silent. I gained my voice. I gained space to breathe. Mark called. How are you? He asked. Standing, I said. That's progress, he replied. Rachel texted. Proud of you, Dad. I typed back, I learned late. She answered, you learned. Susan asked earlier, are you afraid now? I said, no. I'm careful. She smiled. That's strength. Elaine crossed my mind without anger. You're not my enemy, I whispered. You're my lesson. That felt true. I spoke to myself, honest. Betrayal didn't end you. Fear almost did. I breathed deeper. I remembered nights begging for signs. I remembered choosing growth instead of bitterness. That choice saved me. You still believe in love? I asked my reflection. Yes, I answered. Just differently. Age stopped scaring me. Loneliness stopped threatening me. I knew who I was without permission. I said out loud, I survived. The word carried weight. I thought about anyone listening. If you're broken, you're not finished. Refusing to grow is the real ending. I turned off the light and felt calm settle in my chest. Quiet victory mattered more than applause. Love didn't retire at 50. Neither did I. I stepped forward, steady, open, honest, knowing my life continued because I chose myself, learned from pain, and never betrayed my own future again. I accepted my scars as proof, not shame. I stopped waiting for rescue. I became it. Peace followed quietly. That was enough. Tomorrow could come. I was ready. And I welcomed whatever came, trusting myself completely, without apology, without fear, without looking back. That freedom felt permanent, earned, and finally mine. At last now.